been known to say that consistency is the secret sauce to successful running, and I believe that wholeheartedly. Distance running is a long-term endeavor. It's a sport where patience really matters, and if you can train consistently year after year after year, then you're really going to surprise yourself with the type of runner that you can become. But I also know that consistency is also one of the hardest things to master as a runner because we're not pro runners for the most part. Most of us are not getting paid to run, and it's really easy for us to skip a run or to have very inconsistent training because of all the other obligations that we have in our lives, from work to our family and everything else. So I want to give you a couple ideas on how you can become a more consistent runner. And a lot of this has to do with our psychology, our mindset about running, and how we mentally approach the sport. And if this area of focus is really interesting to you, make sure you get on Strength Running's email list because we're going to be talking a lot about this in the upcoming couple months, and I think you're really going to like this new series. So the first thing that you can do to make yourself a more consistent runner is whatever your goal might be, whether it's to run a certain race, run a certain time, qualify for a race, or even just get your long run distance up to a certain level. Make that goal public. Make it public to your family, to your friends, to an online community if you don't have very supportive family and friends, and they will help you be more accountable. They will hold you to account. And if you fail, then you know that you are going to be letting those people down. Then you know you're going to have to go to them and tell them, I didn't do the work, so I didn't accomplish the goal. And that is a really powerful way of making yourself be more accountable to yourself. You're going to stick to your training more. You're going to be much less likely to skip runs because it's cold or it's too hot or you just don't want to get out there and do it. And it's a very powerful motivating factor because you know other people are checking up on you. They know what you're trying to do. And if you don't do it, they're going to ask you why. The second way to be a more consistent runner is to get a program. Don't try to wing it. Don't try to just plan your training on the fly. Make a plan first. And if you have the resources, buy a program. Because for the simple reason that we tend to value what we purchase more than things that come to us for free. So you can always download a free plan online. And if that's where you have to start, then that's the next best thing. At least you have a program and a plan to follow over time. But if you can make it happen, then purchase a program. It's either going to be more personalized, it's going to include more helpful resources and content for you so that you're more likely to succeed. But the other powerful psychological motivator here is that you paid for it. You shelled out some of your hard-earned money and you don't want to waste that money. So you're going to be much more likely to follow through with that program if you have already followed through with your credit card. Now, the last little tactic that we have for being a more consistent runner is to not try to be more consistent for the next year. So if your strategy is, my 2020 New Year's resolution is I'm going to be consistent for the whole year. Well, that's great and admirable, and I hope you are, but that's a lot to bite off at once. And I've found it's much more helpful to set a consistency goal for simply 1 month. Let's just do something for 30 days. And if you can do it for 30 days, you are much more likely to stick with it and to be consistent for a longer time period. That initial 30 days is the hardest part of any training program, any new habit that you have. Your old routines are going to want to, forcefully, step on your new habits and your new running program. You're not going to want to, follow through with all those runs and workouts because it might be new. You might only be used to running 3 days a week and now you want to run 4 or 5. But the first 30 days is absolutely critical. If you can stay consistent through then, you're much more likely to be consistent throughout the rest of that training cycle. All right, we are going to be talking so much more about sports psychology, developing focus, anxiety management, building confidence and mental toughness, and becoming the runner that you know you can be mentally, not just physically. We're going to be doing this a lot in 2020 on strengthrunning.com. So if you want to get all of our content on this and get the whole series from start to finish, make sure that you're on our email list and you'll be the first ones to get it.